Good morning, students. Today we will start the Mendel Experiment summary, and we will conclude that why Mendel becomes successful, the reasons of the Mendel success. As we have seen in the earlier videos, that Mendel did experiment on the pea plant, that is the garden pea, and he selected 7 traits in the garden pea and concluded 3 laws, that was law of dominance, law of segregation, and law of independent assortment. So here are the summary points. You can write. Number 1, Mendel summary. Each trait of an organism is controlled by a pair of alleles. Means every trait of every organism, that is always controlled by a pair of alleles. Out of which, if these two alleles are different, then one will show its characters, that will call dominant, and the other which cannot show its character in presence of the another allele, then it is called recessive. Now, if they are the two alleles, they get separate in the formation of during the formation of gametes. During gamete formation, if there are more than two alleles of the other different characters, they get separated independently. Each allele, that is, get transferred from one person to another person, from one generation to next generation, as a unchanging unit, as a discrete unit. Means the alleles that get never change if they when they transferred from one generation to the next generation. So each organism inherit one allele from each trait from each parent. Mendel's experiment in these points, that Mendel did the experiment with pea plants that were present, each character is present in pair, and out of this pair, one allele is dominant, other is the recessive one. And these two alleles that get separated in the formation of during gametes. And next, if there are more than alleles of the more than one character, then they also separated independently. And each alleles that get transferred from one generation to next generation, they get never changed. And the last one, that each organism get one allele from each of the parent, from male and female, one allele he get. So we can see that here this is showing our law of dominance. And this is showing formation of the gametes, they get separated. This is showing the law of segregation. And next point, the gamete during gamete formation, the alleles of the different characters are also independent. So it is showing the law of independent assortment. So you can see that Mendel did the experiment and he concluded our three laws. Now, what are the reasons for the Mendel's success? He did the experiment and he became successful. There are some specific reasons for the Mendel's success, and they were: the first reason of the Mendel's success was the selection of his pea plant, which is a controlled breeding plant. So in this plant we can do controlled breeding. It can be pollinated, self-pollinated, and also it can be undergo cross-pollination easily. Second, Mendel selected few breeding lines. Whenever he did the experiment, he started the experiment. First, he got the pure lines by doing the cross-pollination, by doing it progressively for the many seasons. So, he selected the two breeding lines. Next was, he studied at the time of inheritance a single trait with two contrasting conditions. First, he studied that single trait with two contrasting conditions. Whenever he did the experiment, he selected a single trait at a time, and he take that trait in two contrasting characters like tall and dwarf. Next, he kept an accurate record of his breeding experiment. Whenever he did the experiment, he kept that record. Also, you can see when whatever he did the experiment, he calculated that his result in mathematical form. So it is also the reason of the Mendel's success that he pulled the data of many similar processes and analyzed the result by using statistical approach. So most important was that Mendel, whatever did he experiment, he do the mathematical approach and with the theoretical experiment. So Mendel, he was also lucky in selecting 7 traits. Those traits he selected that was luckily present in the contrasting traits, and that was not linked. And the last one, whatever he did the experiment, he selected the 7 traits at that time. They were not showing any kind of incomplete dominance or codominance or linkage. That was his luck behind his success. So these are the reasons of the Mendel's success. That he did his experiment theoretically as well as practically and fulfilled the mathematical approach. So these are the reasons of the Mendel's success. So today we completed the Mendel's experiment and what he did in our genetics and why he is called the father of genetics. So this was the summary and the success reasons of the Mendel experiment. Thank you.